everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's in the Tube, where it's our show where we review things in the world of television or giving out predictions on upcoming seasons of television, which is what we're doing today. Today we are giving out our season 4 predictions for Walker, which is still a very long ways away. If you're unaware, we reviewed the entire 3rd season of Walker, episode by episode, throughout this entire past television year. You can go check that out on youtube.com/ActionX videos if you were not aware of that. But just a warning, this will contain all the spoilers for season 4. Well, not season 4, but this will contain all the spoilers for season 3 of Walker. So if you have not yet seen the 3rd season of Walker, this isn't the video for you. So please go back and watch the entire 3rd season of Walker, which I believe is available on the CW app, and it will soon be available on HBO Max, soon to be Max, in the coming months. So you can go check that out there. And also you can check out our entire review series right now as a companion podcast if you choose to do so. But here we go. Today we're here to talk about season 4 of Walker, which we have been renewed. We've been renewed for quite a while now. And now the question is, when are we going to see season 4? Well, the CW has already announced that Walker season 4 will be saved for mid-season, meaning that it will return in 2024. This will be the longest break between Walker seasons yet. It used to be very, the first 2 years were the first 2 seasons were very much, the gaps were literally the end of season 1, and a few weeks later, we had season 2 already. It was not that big of a gap. And then so for season 2 and 3 was a traditional summer. Now we're going to wait 6 months plus for season 4. So it's still a little bit of ways away, sad to say, but it does give the writers enough time to work on it whenever they are able to go back to work. Because again, there's a writer's strike happening right now, which hopefully eventually it will end, hopefully, because I want all my shows to go back. I want these writers to be paid rightly, have their futures guaranteed as much as they can. So hopefully we're able to get back to work soon and see our favorite shows back on the air again, not too long after the fact. So for Walker season 4, it will be coming out mid-season next year. So best case scenario, we'll be seeing it January 2024, which will mark I believe 2 full years of Walker, 3 years for Walker overall speaking. But going to the next question, considering the fact the CW is in a very iffy place right now. They're not renewing that many shows. They just had their upfronts. These were the only 2 shows they talked about in their upfronts. They didn't renew All-American Homecoming. They didn't review Superman Lois, Gotham Knights just quite yet. They kept it very vague there, where you get one show this fall, one show this coming winter. If that's all you're getting. So does that mean Walker will be ending next season? Not entirely. I don't believe so. Now they kind of reduce the amount of shows they have to confirm, maybe 5 overall. It does leave some room in the money box, but it does also mean that going forward, Walker needs to turn a profit for it to continue going. So there could be a precedence where season 4 could be the final season. I could see that happening. Nancy Drew ended with season 4, which is coming out next week as well. So definitely there is a precedence for them just ending shows before their times are up, because it actually is cheaper to end the shows earlier, so they don't have to negotiate for cash negotiations, which is one of the reasons why a lot of shows get canceled, because studios don't want to pay the actors more, which is also another unfair thing. But that doesn't get talked about a lot, and also, everything's unfair. But so there is a precedence. I could see season 4 being the end of Walker. There is enough reasoning to make it the end, but we'll see what the powers maybe have to say about that, so to speak. But we already know we're getting 13 episodes this season. It's only 13 episodes, which I'm like, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to have an 18, 20, 22 episode season to tell your story. Less is more. You have more time to tighten the story, focus on what really works, and then move on from there. So that's what I'm very excited for, to see from this show, seeing how they're going to perform with that amount of episodes. Hopefully it'll be another strong season. But going into the actual story itself, we already have some story fragments, which the last episode of season 3 kind of left us off on. The main premise of the season is yet another Walker past coming back to rear its ugly head, this time around from an unsolved cold case with a serial killer that Walker and Captain James did not get to solve back before the show even premiered. So that's definitely going to be their main focus in area this season coming up. This was the case that basically ended James's original marriage many moons ago, and caused some strain between Walker and Emily when she was still alive. So definitely it coming back to play this time in the more modern day setting is definitely going to leading to some pretty troubling factors for both of them as they, they're attempting to start these new chapter their lives, and here comes an old chapter rearing its ugly head once again. So there's also, in terms of the antagonist point of view, this killer, the Jackal. We also have these two other characters, a mom and son duo, presumably, that's also, for some reason, targeting the Walker family and their friends. What is it connected with the Jackal? I don't know. Is it just two completely unrelated things? I don't know. So definitely in the antagonist front, we already got like a set stack there, so we really don't need to introduce that many other elements. In terms of the other storylines, Stella's going to return to college, or go to college finally, this time locally. So she'll get to have her own college experience starting up. August is in the midst of the midst of his senior year, so new year, his final stretch before he decides to go off, which at the end of season 3, he decided he wants to join the army, similar to what his dad did. But however, he was declined the offer to go to the army this summer, but Walker does give him permission that if he does decide to go after the end of this school year, he can go. So definitely that's going to be like a bit of a task for him to realize to be away from his family for so long. As for anything else that I have to mention, Cordell again trying to turn over a new leaf. This time trying to be a little bit more, trying to be like a new man, and hopefully trying to be a good boyfriend this time to Jerry, as she rightfully deserves after all the things she had to go through in her life that didn't really pan out her way. And meanwhile, you also have, a budding romance between Cassie and Trey, which kind of finally started developing at the end of season 3. Which for me, I'm like, okay, I kind of saw this happening. It still is a bit predictable, mind you. And definitely, I'm just curious to see how they're going to handle that storyline. For me, generally right now, just looking into it, I do find it a little bit kind of like predictable that, Cassie was in a way kind of Mickey's replacement when she left. And now Trey's all of a sudden interested in her. Like, it's a little bit like, definitely they played the long game on this one. It wasn't an immediate attraction back when we first saw these two together. But definitely that does leave room to see, where does this go from here? Where do we see these characters go next with themselves, and realize are they right for each other or not? We're gonna find out all about that pretty soon, hopefully speaking. And yeah, lastly, those are all just the major plot points that we have to see. Also, Liam going for another what does he do now? He has the Walker Rescue's finally up and running after a season of we really need a story arc about that. Do we really need a story arc? That's still debatable. So that now he's up to new horizons, trying to figure out what is next for himself yet again. So yeah, they definitely left a lot to work with. There's a lot. That's just a big understatement. There's a lot for them to work with when we do come back next year with the next season. So definitely they have the story beat already all figured out. I'm guessing they could just make this the end. They could, August going off to the army, whether or not that just leads to we can just offload some of the cast members as they go off to new horizons. That's a possibility, or I really don't know. I think if they have the opportunity to end the season, I think they should. The CW right now is just in the most murkiest territory for TV right now. So definitely, I think it would be much more better for them to, if they have the opportunity, end the show now, and let's wrap it up on a good note. That at least that would be my wholehearted prediction on that front. To make it one big happy ending at the end of it, hopefully speaking. But going to the characters, what I want to see from them this season, mind you, obviously we have a new character. I wouldn't be surprised if any moment between now and then we'll get the announcement that at the end of the season we got introduced to Hoyt's daughter, his estranged daughter from before, and her coming back and really making a rapport with Stella. And August definitely makes the idea that she's going to stick around a lot longer. Is gonna I would imagine she'll be part of the main cast, and just I'm guessing if she was to get a storyline this season coming up, it's just her discovering family, just similar to how when the Walkers welcomed in Mickey and then Trey and then Cassie, just they're just an open family. They're willing to let everyone in that treats them with kind of respect, and I can definitely see them making the case for Hoyt's daughter, since it kind of allows at least for Cordell get that one last opportunity he wasn't able to give to Hoyt when he was still alive. Captain James, who now married man again, now on this new horizon. I'm the more curious to see about, this is the season I want to see the most flashbacks. Considering the fact, Cordell has given the hints of like, this case last time destroyed James' marriage. Like, this is the reason why James and his wife broke up last time, because he got so consumed with the case, trying to hunt them down and then failing to do so. So him finally officially coming back, which was announced at the end of the season, definitely is not going to be like, how does he handle it now? He's older, he's wiser, he's married again, so the stakes are almost the same, if not higher. How is he going to, accept the fact that this guy's back, and how the hell do they solve this case before any more people get hurt? That's definitely, this could be Captain James' season. This could definitely be like his season where like we get a lot more of him. We've already got like a bit of a pull with recent seasons with him. So definitely him like, taking a little bit more center stage this time around would very much be appreciated, as always. I feel like Grandpa and Grandma Walker hasn't really, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they get delegated the supporting roles. I just don't see them really, like, I feel like this last season kind of completes a trilogy of a story arc with them, where, like, the first season was us discovering them, realizing, how much, they've done to each other to hurt themselves, to hurt the family, and then realizing that the family is important. Season 2 with Grandma Walker's history with the Davisons, and how does Grandpa Walker deal with that, as well as his own past with them. Then season 3 was more like them just like accepting the fact that, they're getting old, like time's running out. They should really value the time they have left. And when I say that now, it's like, well, they still have Grandma Walker's storyline with her estranged brother that they can still finish up. We didn't get really that much development since the last episode that was focused on it. But I don't see like, they're just going to be the supportive advice people. And I'm like, that's totally fine. Like, they don't need to get storyline. They're like just able to like give a little bit of a helping hand to their family, which again is totally fine. But I don't know. This is again another case of I could see this being the last season, since I don't know what else you can do with them. Like, I don't know. Like, I trust the writers. I trust they know what they're doing with their characters. But I would not be surprised if, like, even if they do get a season 5, that they announce to retire finally. Somehow, somewhere, they're gonna retire. They're gonna like settle down and like actually live a quiet life that isn't filled with craziness every year. Next up, you have Cassie, who I guess you can't talk about Cassie without Trey now, where going into the season, like last season, like I was not expecting them to like even have a semblance of a romance. I made that prediction going into like, introducing Cassie, like, is she gonna hook up with Trey at some point? Like, I mean, not every time a character is gotta like be introduced doesn't mean they have to hook up with someone on the main cast. That doesn't always have to be the case, but it's just seeing enough television to know, like, yeah, that's usually the case. And now finally, after all this time, then finally setting the proper seeds for them to have a genuine romance. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Like, I'll definitely be open to see how they're gonna like tackle that interpretation. I think we're still in the early stage where like I don't expect the next episode we see them to like express that, but I could see them like beginning to broaden that that brush a little bit more so. Especially since for Cassie, she's about to possibly accept a position to be part of an FBI team for the summer, with the open possibility of her joining the team, which I know she won't. She'll definitely find a way to stay in Austin after that point, but she will most likely go away for a while to like, broaden her horizons. And who knows, maybe when she comes back, she maybe has a different perspective on things, maybe even on Trey too. So that would be pretty cool to see on that front. I don't know why I said pretty cool. I don't know why. That sounds stupid. But definitely with them, it's similar to another shipping that I low-key supported back on another review show we do on The Rookie, where like I just hope that they know how to pace it right, pace it well, and make it organic and natural, which I do admit for the last season and a half they have been doing for these characters to establish their friendship. And, there's always room for growth. There's always, room for, like, more. And definitely, they can definitely do that. But besides that, for Trey's side of things, I just want to see Trey finally in action, as a proper Texas Ranger. Because, when he became a Texas Ranger properly, he had to be let go to start the actual undercover operation he was selected to do. And then even after that, like, we didn't get to really see him in action more so less. So I definitely would like to see a full season where where he's like, kicking ass as a proper Ranger, wearing the whole gear and everything. That's what I would love to really see out of him finally, to finally see him, saddle up basically. August went for a really, really big change this last season. And definitely this season is just him focusing more on like, who is he? Because like any teenager, like you have your interests and then sometimes they die out or you change to another thing. That's totally August's territory now, as he's about to take center stage with him being a senior in the next year. So definitely wanting to see him figure out like, you know, himself and trying to figure out like, is going to the military really what he wants? Is there a different path? Is there a different direction for him? Like there's already so many questions and variables for them that I can't wait to see how he's going to go, because this season he struggled a lot. He made some pretty difficult, if not dick moves, and now finally he's out of the woods and like finally able to like, you know, fully express himself again. And how do we lead to that when we come back to things for him? You know, sky's the limit. I hope that he takes everything he learns and like be able to like, you know, correctly assess what does he want with his future finally after all this time. As for his sibling Stella, you know, her finally going off to community college, about to move in with her boyfriend, potentially having a new best friend in Hoyt's daughter. It's an interesting development. You know, definitely there's a lot more corners this season for her coming up than last season. And then again, yeah, Stella dropping out of college and everything, her dealing with a lot of accusations from her dad in the first half definitely really left a mark on her. But after that, she's kind of been simmering down, like just focusing on the rescue and, you know, kind of taking a back seat a little bit. So definitely I would love to see her, like, you know, have more interactions in college, trying to figure out, you know, who is she going to be in the future? How is she going to, like, you know, become the next person that she's meant to be? And I believe lastly, oh yeah, we have Jerry, who this season, honestly, I was very surprised. I think I learned the reason why she had to get like written off for a little bit. I think she was pregnant or something. I know the actress just had a baby, or am I completely wrong? I don't know what I'm mentioning anymore, but you know, Jerry's back, hopefully full-time capacity. Definitely about to start this brand new romance with Walker properly this time. Let's see how that goes. There's no pressure on them to do anything, considering the fact that they're already best friends. They're already like, you know, did a lot of like the knowledge thing. Now it's like actually them like trying to figure out, can we be in a relationship properly, you know, after all this time? I have faith they will. And definitely I would like to see Jerry kind of reel back in the other Davidsons. It just feel like they were there for a season and then they let them go at the end of season 2. So that's at least my notifications on there. And also Jerry trying to be like a surrogate mother figure to Hoyt's daughter would definitely come things full circle for her a little bit. So that would definitely be nice to see out of that point. And lastly, Cordell himself. He's again like pushed against the wall. Like he's finally ready to like, you know, explore this new chapter of his life. And then you have like this returning friend coming back this time to like, you know, finish what he started. Cordell's scared because like, you know, he finally made the declaration of like, he's going to change. He's going to like be open to whatever is next. And like, not even a moment after he starts, oh, this threat from your past that literally almost destroyed everything. He's back. Like, life sure knows how to pick your battles. Life sure knows like when to introduce them. So definitely his biggest challenge this season of like trying to balance between fully figuring out the past and trying to like, you know, chart his future. With his kids growing up, kids about to leave the nest, him finding him with romance again. Like definitely, there's a lot to think about for him. There's a lot on his plate this season, and that always gives me confidence. Like, you know, we're in for a very big season, a very fun season. Like, there's just so much to see. There's so much to think about. And definitely the only thing I just have to say is that I hope that regardless of how this season goes, whether it's the last or not, that they really knock it out home, because there's a lot of potential here. There really is. And they always have room for reinvention, trying to do something a little bit differently. Now's the time, and that's what I'm really interested to see going into this new chapter of the story. But yeah, Walker Season 4 will be premiering on the CW at some point next year, hopefully earlier rather than later. So we'll be back with more. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what do you want to see in the 4th season of Walker? Well, who do you expect to see? What do you want to see? Let me know down below. We'll love to have a conversation about it. But I believe it's going to do it for me today, everyone. So if you're unaware, this has been What's the Two from ActionX. Give me my predictions on the 4th season of Walker, coming soon to a TV near you. If you want to know what we're doing normally, What's the Two besides our Walker reviews. Currently next week, we're about to start up our Nancy Drew content again. It's going to be a lot of fun. However, if you don't care about Walker, you're still in luck. Next week, we have our Season 3 review, non-spoilers edition, for anyone who has yet to catch up on the 3rd season of Walker. So go check that out next week if you're interested in. But of course, after that point, that's it. That'll be the end of the coverage for the entire year for Walker, and then we will return next year for Season 4. Of course, before Season 4 starts, we'll be doing a Season 1 spoiler-full review to kick us off that, so stay tuned for that. But again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Like, favorite, share if you want to, and ring the bell for more. But until we see each other again, for all you members of the Texas Rangers out there, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching. But until we see each other again, stay safe out there, be good to each other, and as always, peace out.